Hello everyone, welcome to the weekend review for Module 5, and here we are now entering a new kind of phase of accounting. We're going to be looking at managerial accounting. So as we kind of refresh here, we started off with financial. That's what we do to the external stakeholders of the world, and now we're going to be looking at managerial accounting and kind of organizational decision making and the accounting that appeals to that. So I think it's a kind of a shift here as we expose you basically to essentially the entire world of accounting throughout this course. So with that, you're going to see we're kind of hopping around in chapters because by no means do we have enough time to read that entire textbook. That entire textbook actually is designed for a two class series, which would be actually 6 credit hours. So we're kind of picking pieces and parts out of it. So this week we're going to be looking at 16 and 19. So if you're kind of wondering why we're jumping around a little bit, to give you an essence of the managerial accounting part of it. So this week, a couple of things a little bit different than the previous time this course was run. Tweaking up the project a little bit, and I thought I'd just go ahead and shoot this video today. Today's Monday, right around 4 o'clock, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the items that we'll be doing in Module 5. So with that, let's jump into the course real quick and take a look at some of those things to make sure that you don't have any questions, and if you do, of course, you can always contact me. All right, so this week we're going to be doing kind of our standard fare, and let me just scoot this down a little bit here, and there we go. All right, that looks a little bit better so we can see our major activities. So we have our weekly study guide. That's the norm. In here, though, the study guide is going to be hitting on the video and chapters 16 and 19. So you will definitely have to watch the video to fill out some of those study guide questions in there. And then we have the weekly notes. If you wish to use those or not, those are totally optional. And of course, the lecture in there this week, I think it runs about 13 minutes. So do take a look at that because that will tie into the study guide. We have our McGraw-Hill campus, our homework 7 in here. I try to streamline it a little bit. Hopefully you'll find it maybe be a little bit quicker assignment to do, though all of you are really doing good in that. I don't know how many attempts it's taking you to get those answers. So in here you'll find some more multiple choice this week. There'll be 6 questions in the McGraw-Hill homework number 7. Now what I wanted to talk about too is the project number 5 on value and non-value activities. So we'll just pull this up real quickly here. So this week you are going to be doing simply I guess try not to overthink it too much. What we're doing, I'm going to have you kind of put on your own hat, your own CEO hat. You're going to develop a healthcare company. So think of anything you like. Here are just some suggestions: hospital, outpatient clinic, medical equipment supplier, but it could be anything. Home health care, whatever. I mean, whatever. You just, as long as it's within the landscape of healthcare, you're good to go. And you're simply going to do one page in a Word document. I want you to think of the name of your company. So maybe it's, Home Healthcare Angels or something, whatever the name of your company might be. And then in 2 or 3 sentences, just describe what that company is. So I have an idea of what it is. So please, don't write, 3 pages on your company or a business plan or anything like that. Just simply 2 to 3 sentences on what your company does and what you hope to provide with that. And then for the remainder of the page, in just bullet point format, I want you to put your value added and non-value added activities that you see happening within your organization. So simply, the way I'm envisioning, you're just going to have at the very top of your paper, you'll have your little very, very small paragraph, what your company is, the name, what it does, 3 sentences, and then you'll have your bullet points under that, maybe 6 bullet points. I mean, you can do more. Again, I'm not even going to put a number on you. Do whatever you feel is necessary. I would say you're going to probably have at least 4 for the value added and non-valued added activities. Again, not really any right or wrong answers here, but they should align. If it's a non-value activity, depending on what your business is, it should align in the non-value area, and also with the valued activities. So you'll simply have like a header that will say valued activities, and boom, you got 5, 6 valued activities, and then another header non-valued, and list 5 or 6 in there. If you're spending more than maybe an hour on this, you're spending too long. So please try not to overthink it. Try to have some fun with it. Make up something creative if you like, or you can be boring. I'm not going to dock you on points for creativity, but when you can have creativity in accounting, you might as well take it and have some fun with it. So if you like, make up any kind of fun organization that you like. All right, so that should cover all the major assignments that we have due this week. Let's again, it would be pretty much the basics that are due with the study guide activities that you fill out, basically the questions from the readings and the videos, the homework, and the project 5 on the non-valued and valued activities. All right, that covers the weekend review for Module 5, Week 5 for our BUS 222. I do not have the grading done for Module 4. I know there's a couple of assignments. Students texted me over the weekend. Various issues have come up with them. I'm waiting for those to come in. They should be in today, and then I will get your Module 4 grading done. At that point, you'll know your midterm grade in the course, so please feel free to add up those numbers. I'll give you my last little speech on any items that you see missing in the grade book. Let me know if it was a late assignment turned in or whatnot, and I'd be happy to go back and grade those. And again, a small deduction on points for late assignments, but definitely worth doing. But just let me know if there's anything missing in the grade book, because I really want to keep on top of it now that we're coming down the downhill slope here to the course. I want to make sure that I try to keep up as much as possible on the grading, because I know you're probably anxious about where your grades are at. Okay, that concludes the weekend review for Module 5, and as always, thank you for watching.